Hello everyone, this is Gavin Nation, EVE Online admin for ADK Gamers, bringing you yet another training video called Corporation Management. The goal of this video will be to teach current and future ADK leadership the importance of successfully running an EVE corporation. Taking a look at the control panel, which can be accessed on the left side of your screen by highlighting your neocom bar and going down to the icon that is 5 stars in the shape of a pentagon, you can see there are a number of tabs and subtabs on each page. And considering each tab has its own unique function, it's pretty obvious there's a lot of things you can do from this screen. Now all these controls can be overwhelming, but only directors need to know them all, and only EVE admins will have director access. So very few people will need to know everything that will be covered in this video. Nonetheless, we will be covering it all, so nothing is left out. One additional thing to keep in mind is based on your access, the tabs may appear different from player to player. If we start with the Home tab, we will find two sub-tabs, the first one being Bulletins. Bulletins is the section where directors and board members can make announcements to the community. The Details tab is where we update general information about the corporation. We have the ability to go down to Details, change the skills related to corporate management. That is done by the CEO. We can also change the tax rate, the website, or the description that is listed in the corporate information. We can also go down to dividends and pay out dividends to our shareholders. As of right now, we are not dividing shares, so this page is currently useless. And last but not least, we have the division section, where we actually create our divisions, which are the, of course, hangers and budgets for each wallet. Those can be updated at will. Next, we look at the recruitment tab. In the recruitment tab, anybody with the ability or role of personnel manager can go in and view any applications of anybody that's applied to the corporation and accept or reject them. Anybody with the director role or higher also has the ability to modify or create corporate ads, in addition to editing the welcome mail that everyone sees when they first join the corporation. The next listed tab is Members. That is by far the most extensive as well as influential section of the control panel, so we will come back to that. The fourth tab is Standings, where we have the ability to view our corporate contacts, and of course they are sorted by standing. We can also see which factions and corporations like us and dislike us. The fifth tab is the War section. There are a number of sub-tabs. Our wars, which are current wars that we are participating in. Anybody that has war decked us or that we have war decked. All wars will show a war history, and also any wars that are going on galaxy-wide. And then last but not least are kill reports of anybody that is in the corporation, anybody that has died, when they died, as well as all the kill details. The sixth tab is Politics, which is a section totally devoted to shareholders casting votes on what are called sanctionable actions, like nominating new CEOs and whatnot. But as of right now, again, we are not dividing shares, so this section will not be used for the time being. The next tab over is Corporate Assets, where anybody with the required role does have the ability to view our assets galaxy-wide. Basically, anytime we set up an office, we get a set of corporate hangers, and we will be able to view those contents at any time. The next sub-tab is Impounded, which basically translates to if we do have a corporate office where we store equipment and we fail to pay the rent on that office, then our items are impounded, and we do not get them back until we pay the back rent. The next sub-tab is In Space, where any space-bound assets, like deployable cargo containers, POSs and whatnot, are listed here. The next sub-tab is Deliveries. Anybody that has set up market orders or contracts on behalf of the corporation, and those orders are successful, that is where we will find those orders. Lockdown is a section where anybody with director access or above can hide BPOs and BPCs so they will be safe. And of course, the good old search section where you can just search through said corporate assets. The final tab listed is the Alliances tab, which is similar in nature to the entire corporation control panel, has a lot of similarities, like the Home tab, where detailed information on the alliance would be provided. Any alliance leaders would have the ability to change the details, similar to what we can do with the corporation page. Rankings show the rankings of alliances galaxy-wide, their names, their executive corpses, their tickers, when they were created, total number of members. Applications are where you can see if you have the alliance roles, similar to our personnel manager. Alliance members will be able to approve or reject applications. We have the ability to see under my applications any alliances we've applied to. Members will show any member corporations in the alliance. They will not show individual members like our corporation page does, because there can be thousands and it would bog down the system. And of course, alliance contacts are similar to our contacts. They are sorted by standings. Last but not least is members. As mentioned before, the member section is by far the most extensive. You go to the member list and you see every member that is in the corporation. You can filter by roles. You can also check to only show the members that are currently online. And when you right click, depending on your abilities, you can do something as simple as kicking the member from the corporation. You can award decorations, you can transfer corporate cash, or you can even edit the member. When you edit the member, you can set their titles, you can set their base of operations. You can go and assign any roles or titles as you see fit. Next section is Find Member and Role, which is basically a big search tool. If you wanted to know every second class industrial member that we have, you type it in, click Execute Query, and it will show you every member that meets that criteria. You have role management, which basically you can assign individual roles to players. For the most part, we will only be doing that to leaders. The reason being, once we get up to hundreds of members, assigning roles person by person will become tedious. For general members, we will use title management, where you can create individual titles and assign the roles to those titles. Like the first class industrial division, if I wanted them to have accountant access, I could just check it, and then all I have to do is go in and assign somebody first class industrial division, and they will have the accountant access by default. We will look at title management and role management in more detail in just a moment. In the meantime, let's take a look at auditing. You can see here I've already done a search for my main character, Angelus Knox, and the span covers the last week. And in the last week, you can see that I have assigned specific roles to different characters. Renegade, some of my alts, Zargan. This is a way for us to keep tabs on what our leadership is doing and make sure that they are not abusing their powers. Last but not least, the decoration section. We have the ability to create and award decorations to members based on what we feel is maybe an outstanding achievement or a contribution to the corporation. As an example, the ADK Member Award, the Founding Member Award, and Donator of at least $100 million in Assets Award, all of which has been assigned to various members, and we will be assigning more in the future. And this is perhaps the driest part of the video, which I will go ahead and apologize for. If you'd like to skip it and review roles by yourself through Google, you have that option. Nonetheless, we will be going ahead and going back to role management. This is an important section where we can assign individual abilities to individual people. We usually only do this to leaders because there are so many different leadership positions. There are not enough titles available to fill them. So we use role management instead. Now there are a large number of assignable roles on the role management page. The first one is accountant, which handles, of course, all of the corporation's accounting. They have direct access and control over the wallets, which is our money. They can provide budgets to each individual division. In addition, they have the ability to monitor all corporate transactions and search corporate assets to figure out who spent money and why and when. In addition, they have the ability to insure corporation ships, and they can also pay corporation and alliance bills. An auditor is somebody who can use the audit function to keep track of leadership and make sure nobody is abusing their powers. Communications officer has the ability to send emails on behalf of the corporation or alliance, and also allows you to create corporation and alliance events in the calendar, in addition to adding and removing places from corporate locations. The config equipment role allows corporation members to manipulate corporation assets that are in space and anchored, like cargo containers and whatnot. And the config starbase equipment is similar in that it allows people to manipulate our POS items while in space. Contract manager has the ability to create and accept contracts on behalf of the corporation. Our diplomat has the ability to set and honor standings towards other players and corporations, in addition to handling diplomatic situations that may develop with other corporations or alliances. A director has basically full access over the corporation. The only person that outranks them is a CEO. The only thing a director is unable to do is assign somebody else the director role and kick the CEO from the corporation. A fittings manager simply has the ability to create fittings on behalf of the corporation. A junior accountant can view the same information that an accountant can without the ability to manipulate it. They can only see without changing. The personnel manager does have the ability to view any applications to the corporation and either accept or decline them. A star-based defense operator has the ability to manually control star-based defenses, skills permitting. And a star-based field technician actually has the ability to view and maintain all star-based modules, but will not be able to access their inventories. If we simply click the drop-down that says Type, there is a subsection called Station Services, where we can assign people individual station-based functions. As an example, a factory manager has the ability to rent factory slots and research slots on behalf of the corporation, as well as starting manufacturing and research jobs using blueprints that the corporation has provided. Rent factory slots and rent research slots are similar, except they can only view blueprints, they cannot manipulate or use them in any way. A rent officer has the ability to rent office space in a station, assuming that an office is available and corporation assets are provided. A security officer can view the personal hangars of any member of the corporation, assuming that that security officer is docked in the proper station. And they can also retrieve passwords on any secure containers owned by the corporation. They can deliver items from his hangar or corporation hangar to corporation members. Station managers can access management panels for outposts belonging to a corporation, and allows a pilot to install infrastructure upgrades into an industrial hub anchored by the corporation. And last but not least, for the station services section, a trader can buy and sell items on the market on behalf of the corporation, assuming they have the finances available in their division's wallet. The next option in that drop down is accounting, where you can assign division access to individual players and give them access to that division's budget. After that, we have hangar access and container access for our corporate headquarters, individual bases, and any other corporate hangars that we may have access to. When looking at title management, it is the same as role management, except you can create titles and assign positions to a broader group of people. As an example, if we go to hangar access, you will see that the industrial division has the ability to quarry, and then industrial first class has the ability to take items out of the industrial hangar. So anybody that is inside the first class industrial division title will have this ability. That covers role and title management and wraps up our presentation on corporate management. Again, I'd like to apologize for spending 5 minutes reading role management information off of a third-party website that some people just don't like to read. If you find any misinformation in this video or you have any questions, contact my in-game character, Angelus Knox. Thank you for watching and safe flying.